5, 4, 3, 2, and
Life at the prison. Do you think ex-cons should be punished for life? How many of you have done something and regretted it? How many of you had to overcome an obstacle? How many of you have done something wrong and simply need a forgiveness or even a second chance? Well, what about an ex-con? Does he or she have a right to a second chance? I know what you're thinking, and most people will be reluctant to help an ex-con, but not all felons are bad. For example, Judge Mathis, who is now a very successful, nationally indicated TV reality judge, was once a gang member. According to Judge Mathis's bio, written by Eric Williams, Mathis was arrested numerous times and incarcerated in Wayne County Jail as a 17-year-old juvenile delinquent. But yet, he was able to overcome an obstacle of being an ex-con. Mathis' life is a testimony to the power and perseverance, and better yet, an example to many that life after prison is possible if you work hard. Life in prison is already rough enough, as you lose family, friends, voting rights, and even your own self-respect. But there are many ways for ex-cons to remove the shackles and improve their life. With the right support, ex-cons can be normal citizens again if their records can be expunged, if they seek employment, if they have adequate housing. Many of these ex-cons really want to be rehabilitated and move on with their lives. But society has labeled them, making it hard by not removing the restraints long after they have done their time. One in every family has at least one person that has been incarcerated. And if you are a supporting family, you will do all you can to help this member. So why does society turn their backs on ex-cons? The obstacle an ex-con must overcome includes many things. The first one is getting the record expunged. Expunging the record can be lengthy and costly, as it comes with lawyer fees, court fees, and the fee for expunging the record. However, getting the records expunged can be really difficult. Most first-time offenders are often told that if they complete and pay all their fines, their record will be dismissed, but a lot of times this is not the case. Many of these files remain open and are available for public viewing long after the ex-con has completed their time. This is how society holds ex-cons down, not giving them a fair chance to wipe the slate clean. Once your punishment is over, you're supposed to be allowed to start over, but many people, they simply just won't allow it. For instance, many of these convicts were charged as juveniles, as these records are supposed to be sealed and destroyed, depending on the charge after the person reaches a certain age. But again, these records will still remain open for public viewing, and there are many companies that make a profit by selling this information to others, and as a result, the consequences are very harsh. According to an article posted on eHow, one of the most deliberating effects of incarceration is the stereotype that employers give ex-cons. Many times, although illegal, employers will refuse employment to ex-cons. As a result, the consequences of imprisonment results to employees using a criminal record against you and making it hard for ex-cons to gain or even maintain employment. Another issue is the lack of resources in finding work, which is required for these ex-cons to stay out of jail. The effects of incarceration on a person can be forced on them by the reality of society. It is a common belief that incarcerated people deserve second chances, but this belief is rarely upheld. Society also makes it hard with all the internet sites that willingly disclose information to others. As an ex-con, you forfeit your own right to privacy. Researchers have found that a prison term takes a slice out of a person's earning power. A 15% slice on average, since most people who go to prison have already few marketable skills to start with. A 15% wage hit often means poverty. As illustrated on the graph, it will show strategies of how employers and ex-cons use to help themselves find jobs. Helping ex-cons find housing can be a hurdle, as many of these individuals experience rejection from family and friends, refusal by private landlords, and eviction from public housing. As a result, the burden of housing offenders is an increasingly growing problem. Employment is the other single most important component of the reentry process. Even after a steady income, jobs can provide a sense of structure and responsibility to former prisoners as they struggle to reintegrate after being released from prison. Long after you serve your time and pay your fines, your record will continue to hunt you. It will even stop you at the Canadian border. The true punishment of your criminal conviction is not the sentence, it is the criminal record. At some point, the probation will be over, but you will never outlive your record. By having advocacy programs that can suggest policies to make ex-prisoners more attractive to employers, such as expunging the records, to ex-cons who stay out of trouble for a given period, or giving tax credits and other incentives to employers who hire former inmates to help make the transition from a prison a lot easier. With the right support, ex-cons can be normal citizens again if they work hard to remain a criminal-free life, seek employment, and have adequate housing to help sustain and maintain life after prison.